And there we go.
Are we recording? Okay. Did you hit record?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's live.
Shit, I'm usually the cameraman. What's up, Messiah TV? We're back here today. We got a special topic to talk about. We're talking about social injustice. Y'all say what's up to the people. We got Giffy, Gyrie, and we got his twin brother right here, Don. What's good with y'all?
What's up, Don?
You gotta talk loud. You know, AC running.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so...
And the camera a little ways away, so you might have to yell a little bit.
All right, so basically, we just want to talk about just equality. Now, it's a broad topic because you could go many different, ways and directions talking about this. But the one thing that's like been a big headline in the news today is talking about just like how the NBA is coming back, and there's a lot of players. They're gonna say, equality, and have George Floyd's name on the back of their jersey. And so I just want to get y'all thoughts on that. Do y'all think that that's something that should be done, or y'all say fuck that, that ain't gonna change shit? What y'all thoughts on that?
I don't really know, to be honest. I feel like that's a really hard subject to talk about for me because I know a lot of people do want to be recognized just based on what they wear. But I feel like in some cases that's not gonna really solve anything. You see what I'm saying? Just because you put the label on it doesn't mean that it's fixable. You see what I'm saying? Like, just because you put a label on a problem doesn't mean you're just solving it. It just doesn't make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel, Doc?
I mean, for the most part, I just think that just anything I believe helps. I feel like just them doing that is kind of I think just at least something is being said. They can obviously do more, but under certain litigations and stuff, and delegations they can't. So just I Can't Breathe. I think that was speaking volumes. I think during the time, and I think it can speak volumes when certain players are wearing different things in remembrance to people who lost their lives to social injustice. So I think anything will help. Especially during this time when all these players are talking out. I mean, it's just making the news. It just keeps on coming back on the news. Like, it's making it seem like we're not giving up. Because a lot of times, what happens with these protests, somebody dies due to social injustice, and we're protesting for about a week, or we're protesting it for about a day, and then 2-3 weeks later, everybody is not on the street no more. Not everybody is retweeting the same stuff. Not everybody's not liking the same stuff anymore. Everybody's going back to their normal life. So I think the continuation of this, just this topic and what we could do, I think that is speaking volumes in the long run.
Civil disobedience, really, in a way.
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like Gyrie here. I'm kind of coming from the perspective where I don't want to say fuck that, but I just kind of feel like we've been dealing with like centuries of systematic advantage, and I do think I said advantage. Excuse me, disadvantage.
I was about to say,
we've been living with systematic disadvantage for like many centuries, and I kind of feel like it's to a point to where, I mean, this is the same shit that niggas was dealing with back in the civil rights movement. I mean, it's a time to where, I mean, we obviously see that hatred, racism, and just inequality is still big as ever. It's still such a tremendous issue. So the point that I'm trying to get to is just the fact that I don't really know if putting names on the back of a jersey is really going to change. And it's just like, I mean, the thing about it is we protest. I'm trying to see that's changing. And I'm not saying like none of this is important. I'm just saying that I kind of feel like we keep on trying to find, and me and you talked about this, but we keep on trying to find equality within a system that doesn't really necessarily support us. And to me, it's just kind of sad because it's like, what other option do you have? Now, I come from different perspectives of it. I mean, shit, I look at shit from a spiritual standpoint of this is what the devil wants, He wants us to think, we can't beat it, we can't beat racism, to be, specifically clear, but I don't know. I just.
I don't feel like it's a religion. I just feel like it's just, to me, it's like the conflict theory. Like, you can't, like, I feel like the people in power, they enforce those disadvantages on us. You see what I'm saying? And we can't just, like, you're right, we can't just have, I guess, like, Black Lives Matter on the shirt. You see what I'm saying? We have to be, I guess we have to be more organized within ourselves first before we can even have, we can say we are being, you know, in an unequal society, because if we really think about it, we do this to ourselves on an everyday basis. You see what I'm saying? We kill each other. Like, we look at each other. The first thing we judge each other based off of our income levels, what we wear. You see what I'm saying? What college we go to, the color of our skin. You see what I'm saying? We do this to ourselves because that's how this society makes us do to each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, they put crack on the streets. We went against each other for drugs, for power of drugs.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And just so like we can, I guess, be against each other. We do that a lot to the point where we create the disadvantages for ourselves. And it really comes to a point where when we make it, we look at these people, we're like, nah, like, they're not even worth my time. You see what I'm saying? Because we've been given an opportunity unlike some people, you know? So that's just really my honest opinion. I don't think it's more of like a religion thing or more the devil, because, I mean, I'm not going to talk about that, but I'm just saying.
I wasn't necessarily saying like it's a religion thing. I'm just looking at it of a standpoint of, from what I learned, you know, the devil, this is the type of shit that he wants. That's literally all I was trying to say on that. I was just going to, well, let me ask you this, Gary. Let me ask you this, because this is kind of like still in the same topic, but how do you feel about, there's also, because I tell Gifted and Dom all the time, I say like, you know, us as colored folk, we have to learn how to be, we have to learn financial literacy, we have to learn how to, you know, be organized with our money, spend it wisely, we have to learn business, you know. And so I do want to ask you, how do you feel on kind of just like the subject of like, I guess, say like you're a college student or whatever, you're walking around campus and stuff, you may not necessarily have the most money as like other rich white kids, but you're walking around in like Supreme, and, you know, Babe, and all types of other shit. Because the reason why I'm asking this is because some people come from the perspective of, they feel like, I guess when you're younger and you want like a car or something, or you want like a certain piece of clothing. I'm not saying I believe this, but some people kind of think that it's associated with like a feeling of status, like, oh, if I make it one day, I'm gonna get the Lamborghini and all that type of shit. How you feel?
To keep it a band with you, man, I don't really care. The reason why I say that, no, I know that might sound funny, but like, dude, like, once I feel like it's just like a thing of maturity.
Yeah.
And then like once you know, like, for example, I guess I'd say some on the topic like NBA kind of professional athletes, YouTubers, social media stars. Like the first thing they go get, you know, is like nice cars and stuff like that. That's cool. But let me go get it because you only live once. Why not? But at the same time, I look at it like, I'm just different. I look at it as like, damn, I'm gonna end up having to pay like $200 for an oil change of this damn Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to end up paying like $600, maybe $1,000 just to get some brakes changed. So I think with like that mentality, and like with the Supreme stuff, I've seen niggas like drip down in like Supreme bait, fucking off white, and still not get the attention they thought they would get. So like now it's just like, I feel like more people are coming to realization of it, but at the same time, a lot of people are still like, I still want it. But I mean, hey,
Yeah.
do you? I see. But on that like aspect of financial literacy, I think that's a huge thing, especially like I don't want to just say like black community, but I say like colored community in general, just because like when you try how to like spend your money like responsibly, you, I know you.
You know me already.
I was gonna say like y'all,
See,
y'all
this
brothers.
crabs
So
right here. This nigga cheap.
I'm just gonna say like
Saying
y'all
I'm
probably got the
just
same like lessons. But yeah, same here. Like I mean, I was taught. I was lucky to be taught. Like my parents, you know, I'm not gonna say I like grew up poor, but I didn't grow up like I was fucking Bill Gates Jr. or something. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact.
It's just like some people, like, I feel like they appreciate it when they're like in, I guess like in like poor environments, because I remember me and my brother, like, we used to literally go to the store, to the deli, bring in a whole jar of 100 pennies just to buy something for $1. Like $5, that was rare. Like,
Making a cheese.
yeah, like that's a fact, bro. Like $20 was rare. You see what I'm saying? Like, to us, $20 is rare, and it kind of decreased our demographic on what was like consumables and shit like that. And so when we started to grow up and when we started to, I guess, have a job, you see what I'm saying? Like, we started to realize that our consumption on a lot of products, that starts to increase. You see what I'm saying? And but
Yeah.
I had to kind of like teach myself. I don't know about you, Down, but I had to kind of like teach myself how to be more diligent with my money and how to save it, because at the end of the day, like, and finding fucking deals, bro. Like, when you buy shit, you see what I'm saying? Not just buying shit and only having like $5 in your account after you bought it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. That's the best shit I ever learned, bro.
Let me ask y'all this. How do y'all feel like this is another perspective look at it from? How do y'all feel about people like, okay, because we're colored folk. So how y'all feel about, I guess, us buying products from like white-owned businesses? Do y'all think it's a problem, or should we invest our money more into black-owned businesses? I think me and Gary were talking about this. I think one interesting topic was, because Gary, he was telling me the story about how, you know, your boys and shit, how like the dorm room at A&T, it looked like a prison. Now look, I ain't trying to get on y'all A&T niggas. I'm going to UNCG, but the point being is just the fact that, like, I just kind of feel like shit like with HBCUs, black-owned businesses, whatever, that's something that we do actually need to invest more time in. You know, how y'all feel?
Like with black businesses and stuff like that, I feel like it just makes you humble.
Yeah.
I feel like it really makes you humble.
Shit, we
Besides-
on right now. Shopping 101,
That's
North
a
Carolina.
fact. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Nah, but
We'll put the link down in the description
that's a fact, yo. This story's
for
pretty
the
good.
shop.
But like, as I was saying, like, I feel like just, you know, I don't know, like, it makes you more humble in a way.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you more like, I helped out. I helped a business. You see what I'm saying? But as for a white business, some people go do that because it's cheaper. Some people do it because, like, it's flashy. You know what I mean? And so, at the end of the day, I don't really blame them for doing that, because, you see what I'm saying? But just buying, like, expensive clothes, like, and knowing that you can't afford anything else, like, that's something that I feel like a lot of people need to learn,
Hell yeah.
is the fact that stop buying clothes that is not really worth in the long run unless you have more bread. You see what I'm saying? Unless you got a lot of money, but some people buy a belt and that should be like $1,000 and they got fucking $0 in their bank account.
Not to cut you off, but this one nigga on my snap just said, these clothes and shoes and shit don't excite me. Just helps emotions ease when I spend it.
Yeah.
That like you sound like a lyric. That sounds tough.
I do got one
It is
more.
me.
That's a fact.
I do got one more question for y'all. This is actually specifically for my boy Dom. I can say no more. I keep quiet. But now my question is that one thing that I actually meant to ask you now, since we're talking about it, is, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you make a statement that, like, I guess because you go to ECU, you go to Greenville, but did you ever say that you thought that, I guess, like, you didn't think that you would be dealing with like the type of racism that school has, and then you kind of realized that it's like very prevalent there? Because I think I looked on your Twitter that one time when you had posted that one dude, and that shit, y'all report that nigga, because he talking whatever that joke he made talking about some why do sharks mistake black people for whatever because they're whale shit or something like that. And he said niggers. He didn't even say black people. So, but like, how you feel about that? You know, that's just coming from your school and shit like that. It's just like, and I know that, cause I know we talked about it before. I don't really know the whole, you know, situation with how many, you know, black people is over there at ECU. Is it mostly
if you guys don't know, it's a PWI. 40% African American, 30% African American population. It's very diverse for the most part. It's just who you just get around. Who you get around with is like who you get around with, and who you talk to. Like that determines on kind of your experience. I feel like with racism. Obviously, if you hang out, obviously with a predominantly black crowd or African American crowd, you're not going to experience that as much because you don't go to certain events or areas. But even though it's a 40% African American population, it is still PWI. So all black programs and just like black prominent organizations are not as prominent there compared to A&T or compared to Morehouse or just any HBCU. So I never really had to, because I am in a white fraternity. So I never really had to deal with racism in that fraternity. Never had to deal with like racism. Nobody hates me because of the color of my skin, because otherwise you wouldn't be in that fraternity. But yeah, I mean, even in this world, there's a lot of undercover racism. There's a lot of people who are nice to you, and as Malcolm X said, he compared the blatant races and the undercover races to a let's just say a shark in a fox. They both use different ways to get their meal or to get their food, but they still are getting their food on the plate. So if you retract that statement, and if you retract from that and you go to from a human standpoint, there's some people who will tell you that they dislike you to your face, and then there'll be others who blatantly don't like you. And I mean, I think there's obviously more blatant or undercover racism just all over the world, honestly. And I mean, the only thing that I could personally do is laugh, because I mean, I don't know, I could just really just laugh, because it just doesn't make no sense on how you can hate somebody due to their color. And no matter, and it's all really a domino effect if you really look at it. And I was just telling previous people that I've been talking to about it, it's a domino effect. When you talk about how we look like gangsters and we sag our pants and we sell drugs and we do all this stuff, it wasn't because we wanted to, it's because we had to do these things. When it's back against the wall. I'm saying sacking. That's the reason why I'm saying that is because we didn't learn none of this stuff, because we didn't have the option. We didn't learn none of these things. They didn't have none of this stuff. And it's not because after slavery, what did they have? Sharecroppers. They couldn't. What were you gonna? They just released us. There weren't even jails before that. There was no jails before slavery. After slavery, that's when they created jails.
Yeah. We hold 25% of the jail population in the world. That shit crazy. 25%. That shit.
You know what's crazy? The crazy thing about it is that the Juneteenth, like, why the whole like celebration of it? It's because like not being free. Like, there was still like people in Texas that were still slaves, and then it was like people from like I guess like other southern like areas. I'm guessing Virginia, North Carolina, blah, further down south. They came over to Texas, and like Northerners, like all it took was one person that knew how to read, like one like colored guy, like like he come down, you see this, and then you're like, why are you still doing this? Oh, we're slaves. You're not slaves. Oh, he's from the north. Nah, it's over.
And all this stuff.
They didn't realize that.
They
didn't know.
No, you're good. All these situations just proves on how powerful us people are. We're very powerful. We're just a powerful group of people, and I don't think we don't realize that due to artificial selection, which is the fact that the white people created money and currency in order for us to feel like we're at a disadvantage, because we are honestly, statistically, we are physically much better than the counterpart. So with that being said, is they had to create these things. They created racism as a mechanism. Right? We didn't think of black and white. It was just, okay, you're white, or okay, you're black. They created this mechanism for us to get put at a disadvantage. So the only thing I could do is laugh, because I still prevail, and we still prevail. And it, you know, obviously we're gonna lose soldiers, we're gonna lose brothers, we're gonna lose sisters when we're trying to get to this fight. And but as a people, we still prevail. We always get through it. And as long as we can come together as one, I mean, that's the only problem we have.
But y'all hear that?
You got a round of applause. He sounds like an activist.
Motherfuckers.
Talk to him, dog.
My nigga Dominic Elton, an activist, you dig what I'm saying?
Boy.
And all you
Dom.
fake whack motherfuckers out there, it's like what my nigga Dami said, we already know. You in the closet racist motherfuckers, that don't prevent you from being racist. Just because you have a few black folk in your house, that don't mean that y'all asses ain't racist. And I know a few I know some white folk that's actually like that I used to go to school with. You niggas ain't safe. You niggas think you post one black picture and say some blackout shit, y'all think y'all safe? Y'all ain't safe. But for real though,
But for real, at the same time, we do gotta shout out those people who are not us, but can take our
Can relate to our struggle.
not even that, because they can't. But they can't. To keep it buckets of
Sympathize.
stacks, exactly. There's people who see the struggle and understand that it's happening and try their best to help. And there's numerous people that we could give a shout out for. So I do thank you to serve those people. We're not gonna throw all the white people under the bus, but there is, or white people under the bus, but there is people who still come and try to help, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. There's some, sorry, because I am a guest, so this is probably gonna be my only time to speak.
Speak your truth.
That's gonna be the only
Speak your
time for me to speak. So
Speak your truth, man.
I mean, listen, there be these white people protesting, and be more white people than black people protesting. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, we need to come together. We can't be sitting there criticizing each other, talking about this and that, because at the same time, it's like if one black person does something different, or one black person decides to do whatever, and it's wrong, the first thing is not to criticize and kick him out of our community. The first thing is to bring him back, recalibrate him, try to let him learn, understand where he's coming from. Because that's the thing, we dislike what we don't understand. So we just got to come together, and that's the only problem we have.
honestly, on that note, I think Dom ended the podcast well. I will tell you, even though we are on the come up, I do have a big announcement. 10, maybe 11, 12 years from now, I may not be in this country. But we're going to talk about that another time. America is racist as shit. I may move somewhere else. Not saying I ain't going to deal with that shit no more. But yeah, I think that was a good video, so let's wrap that up.
Nigga, what? Nigga said 10, 11 years ago. From now, I might not be